Hey everybody, what's going on? It's your girl Just T, y'all, coming at you guys with a nice, simple, tasty recipe. Today, guys, we're going to be making hamburger and potato casserole. Really, really good recipe, y'all. So I'm not gonna hold you guys. We're gonna just go ahead and get jumping into this video, okay? I'm gonna show you guys the ingredients that you're gonna need. First of all, you're gonna need some ground beef. Right here, I have 80/20 ground beef. I have some russet potatoes. I'm going to show you guys one. I have about 6 russet potatoes in this bowl, and I just sliced them up about like that thick. Can you see that? And I used a mandolin. So I was just trying to show you guys one. You can also slice them, or if you have a mandolin, I'll show you guys that one maybe with the last one. You can just slice them up and they'll all be the same size. I also have bell pepper and onion. So I have a small white onion. A small yellow onion. I also have about a half of a small green bell pepper, and I have a half of a poblano pepper. It's like a Mexican bell pepper. Seasoning wise, we're going to be using some black pepper. We're going to use some garlic powder. We're also going to use some seasoned oil, because I don't get down with that seasoned salt anymore. And we're going to need a little bit of cornstarch, because we're going to have to thicken it up some. We're also going to be using this is golden mushroom. You can use cream of mushroom, cream of chicken, whatever you want. I just preferred this one, and it's called golden mushroom. Also have some beef consomme. I believe that's how you say that word. Not really sure. But I like to use this because it's like, to me, I think it's like a thick ass beef broth. That's what I think it is. And I'm going to say it lower because my husband don't know I'm putting these in there, but we're also going to use a small can of baked beans in there. I'm not a big bean eater. So we're going to go ahead and get to it. And also, you want to preheat your oven. Preheat your oven for 350. We're also going to put some cheese on this at the end, and I'll show you the kind of cheese that I'm going to use. I'm not going to bring it out right now because it's really hot here. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to turn my eye on, and we're going to get to sauteing this ground beef, all right? But I'm going to show you guys how I cut up my potato real quick. And so I have my mandolin right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and just slice my potato. So I'm just slicing it like this, real quick and easy. If you guys don't got one, go ahead and get you one. I think I got this from Walmart for about $24, about $24 I believe it was. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish slicing this up. When I come back, I'm going to bring you guys over to the stove, and we're going to go ahead and brown up that ground beef. Okay, so now I have my ground beef on, and I'm going to also add in my vegetables, because I like to cook them when I cook the ground beef. Some people don't, but that's just what I do. I'm going to go ahead and add those in. Now that's that bell pepper, the poblano, and that small yellow onion that is in there. And I'm working on like a medium-high heat. So you want to like let everything brown, and you're probably going to have to drain off your ground beef because it's going to make a little bit of oil. It's going to be in there. And once this is brown, then I'm going to start adding my seasonings to it. And see, now it's starting to get brown. And so in a little while, I'm going to add my seasonings in a little bit. Still a little pink in there. And see that oil that it's making? It's not making as much. So what I probably will do is get a paper towel and just go around in and soak up some of that oil. And you want to make sure that you're chopping your meat up as you're cooking it as well. And you want to make sure you have your casserole dish or whatever dish you're going to be putting it in to the oven. And I'm going to be using a cast iron skillet. It's going to make those potatoes a lot more crispier once we start layering it. It's just going to cook really nice. I'm going to get off some of my oil off of my ground beef, and then I'll be right back, and we're going to start seasoning this. Yes, we are. Okay, so now I drained off most of that oil off of there, and so now we're going to start with our seasonings. With my seasoned salt, I'm going to do like a half of a tablespoon of seasoned salt. Now, you can always add less, and then you can always add more. You know, so it's going to be to your tasting. And I'm also going to add about a teaspoon of, I'm going to do like a half of a tablespoon of garlic powder. Because normally, you guys, I just eyeball when I'm cooking. But I'm going to try and put some measurements out there for you guys. Black pepper, half of a tablespoon of black pepper. Stir this up. And I have my eye turned down while I'm putting in my seasonings and everything. So just go ahead and turn your eye down to like maybe like about a 3 or 4. Because I was working on like medium-high heat before. So now I'm going to start adding in my other ingredients. I'm going to add in that thick beef broth, which is that beef consomme. It's just a beef broth. And with the golden mushroom, I'm not going to add all of it in here. I'm going to add some because I'm not a mushroom eater. But I'll cook with it. So I'm going to do a little bit at a time. Just so I can see. I'm just really putting the mushrooms in there for my husband. He really likes mushrooms. So let me go ahead and turn that back up since we've already seasoned it. Add a little bit more of this mushroom. Add a little bit of this cornstarch in here as well. So I'm going to do like about a tablespoon of cornstarch. Oh, Jesus, it's everywhere. It's like flour. Can't give me nothing. Like that. I'm going to have it all over the place. Look at this. Flicking every doggone where. So I want this to thicken up. Oh, Jesus. Look at this. Every doggone where, y'all. Everywhere. Every freaking where. That's going to help thicken this up. And I already have my oven preheated for 350. Oh, Jesus, that's not good. Also going to go ahead and add in those beans. I said I have a small can. Can't tell him. He don't really like beans, y'all, but I'm going to put them in there. Try to get this a little thick. See if I need more cornstarch or not. And you can also taste it. Taste it and see what it tastes like. If you need to add more seasoning, salt, whatever your seasonings are that you're using, taste it around now and see before you get ready to put it in the oven, okay? So, this smells so good. He was saying that earlier, that he could smell it. It smells really good. So let me just try it. Let's see. That actually tastes really good. And I probably can't use the rest of that. It's pretty good. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. That's really good. Yeah, and I can really taste that beef consuming in there. It's really, really good. Yeah, definitely use that one. Try that golden mushroom. Adds a nice little flavor to it. So now I'm going to move over to the next step. I'll bring you guys right back. Okay, so now the meat has like thickened up some. I got my cast iron skillet that I'm going to use for the oven. Now you can use your casserole dish or whatever dish that you want that's oven safe. I'm also going to use some spraying oil. I'm just going to spray the bottom and the sides of my cast iron. That's going to help make those potatoes nice and crispy. So I'm going to start layering my potatoes. Just going to layer them. Just put them along the bottom. Because then we're going to just put our meat mixture right on top. So altogether you need about six potatoes. And it depends on how much you're cooking. If you're cooking it for a lot of people, then maybe you might need more. And potatoes, when you slice them, you guys know, they go a long way. They really do. So you just kind of want to fill in some little gaps in here. And I'm just cooking this for myself and my husband, but it's really a good dish. So I'll put some along the sides. I'm going to use some cheese. Like I said, we're going to put the cheese on like when it's almost done, because this is going to bake in the oven for about a good hour, or until the potatoes are, until they're tender, fork tender. So I'm going to kind of cover up some up at the bottom, but definitely going to need some from the top, so I'm going to use all my potatoes. Okay, so now we're going to spoon on some mixture. I'm going to be making a mess over here. This is real quick and easy, and I'm pretty sure if you get your kids to help you, they really gonna eat it. You know, kids like to eat stuff they help make. And look at those beans in there. It tastes really good. Like I said, I'm not a big bean eater, but it's really good in this dish. So you don't want to use all of it, because we're gonna put a little bit of, well, I ain't gonna say that. I am gonna use all of it, because I'm not going to layer mine. Because when I do it in a casserole dish, right, you can layer it, and it's just so freaking good. Just layer it. Because like with this, then you can put your cheese, put some cheese on there in the middle, then put your potatoes on and more meat, you know, and just layer it. So I'm just going to actually just do it like this. So I put a couple of these, more of these potatoes in here. I said I have about 6 Russet potatoes that I used. And I use my mandolin to slice those. But you can slice them with a knife just the same. The mandolins, to me, they work because, you know, everything's going to come out uniform. Everything's going to be the same size. So yeah, in a casserole dish, it would be really nice and pretty. All layered and stuff, you know. Then I'm just going to pour the rest of this over here. And we're going to do the cheese last. Once it's been in the oven, I'm going to keep it in the oven for about an hour. Just going to spread this around. And I want like those potatoes on the outside to get like nice and crispy. So I kind of just laid some up around there. Real easy dish. Got a couple more potatoes. I'm just gonna lay them up on top. Different sizes and whatnot, but we're about to use them. You know, pretty, but let me see, can I make that pretty? There you go. Yeah. So I'm going to get some foil. I'm going to cover this up, and I'm going to put this in the oven. The temperature is set on 350, and I'm going to keep it in for about an hour. So I have my oven set on 350. Let me show you guys. Now I'm just going to cover this up with some foil. Put it in the oven, 350 for an hour. I'm going to cover it up really tight so those potatoes will get a chance to cook. back in an hour. Okay guys, so welcome back. So I went ahead and I took that out the oven. I had this in the oven for an hour and about 15 minutes so far. You want to just make sure that your potatoes are fork tender. So we're going to be adding our cheese on top and we're going to put it back in uncovered. So let me kind of turn this around. So I have some shredded cheese. This is shredded sharp cheddar cheese, and it's about a cup of cheese, and I'm just going to add this on top. Might need a little bit more. And then we're just going to put this back in the oven uncovered for maybe about a half an hour. Then I might put it like on broil just to brown it a little bit more, but don't really need a lot of cheese on there. Might put a little bit more. Need a little bit more cheese, just a little bit. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. So like I said, I'm going to put this back into the oven for about maybe half an hour, 15 minutes to a half an hour. I'm going to just put it back in the oven uncovered, and then I'll bring you guys back and it'll be all done. And then to just garnish it, just sprinkle a little bit of parsley or something on top, or some chives would be really nice, some fresh chives or some green onions. Well, I think I have some of those. I might put some of them on top. See you guys back here in about 15 minutes. Okay guys, so I went ahead and took that out the oven. I let it stand for about 15 minutes, and then I turned on my broil to just let the cheese melt a little bit more. And I also too, I was going to keep it in there a little bit longer just so I could brown the potatoes more, but I'm kind of tired and it's time to eat. Alright, so I hope you guys go ahead and try out that recipe. If so, let me know what you guys think. You know, if you added something, don't add something, maybe you can give me some pointers on it as well. But as always, I hope you guys have an awesomely blessed rest of your day. It's just tea, y'all. I'm out.